All right, we're here with Dedrick from Roots today. Gonna learn about his journey, see why he's here, and pick his brain a little bit. So, first question we always ask everyone is, can you tell us how you got from like, I'm gonna start Jiu Jitsu, like why I started all the way into this point now?
So I started Jiu Jitsu because I saw a lot of my classmates at the time in high school kind of wrestling, grappling. So I was like, through high school I was kind of interested in it. I did Kali actually for the longest time.
Okay, with the sticks, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool martial art.
So my family kind of has their own martial arts school. I was into that for a little bit.
Okay.
And then it was hard to train because everybody kind of moved off island. So
that
I had
happens.
to find something to do besides like weightlifting and stuff.
Yeah.
So decided to try out. I actually got involved first through my cousin.
Okay.
And really grateful for that because it kind of just started my drive from there on. So
I think having somebody like walk you in the first couple of times, like, oh no, I'm here. Oh, go check this guy out.
Yeah.
Takes some of the pressure off too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your cousin brought you into class, and then.
Well, he was actually teaching. He brought me into his school at first, and then just kind of went from there, and then just found my passion for it, and never stopped since.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you joined the Roots in August.
Yes.
Okay, so you've been here about 5-6 months now.
6 months, yeah. Just about.
Can you explain, like, we were kind of talking about it, but like you work in town, you live in Eva, and like how that kind of fits into your schedule?
Oh yeah, so in the mornings, I have a son, so I gotta bring him to school, Sand Island.
Okay.
Then from there I go to work. And then on my way back home, I finish work around maybe like 4:35.
Okay, so right in the middle of traffic, right when you want to go home, right?
Yeah. So it's perfect because I can avoid all the the freeway traffic and stuff, and just come to Aya and train, kill time before the traffic ends and stuff. And head back home to Eva.
When there's no traffic and it's nice, as long as they don't. What do they do this weekend? Is cutting trees or something, cutting grass,
or even just paving the roads too. They cut down like all the lanes and there's only one left.
You're like, what do you guys do? I get it at night when they do it, but like weekend, middle of the day, like, hey, some stuff I wanted to take it to the beach.
Yeah.
Right on. What do you like about training here at Roots?
Just meeting a lot of new people, getting a lot of different experience rolling. Because everybody rolls different, I learned.
That's for sure.
Getting tapped in different ways. It's just fun, basically learning from everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any like jujitsu or like MMA goals that you're trying to accomplish, or is this just like just came to hang out with the boys or get some exercise?
Just kind of learn as much as I can, really.
Yeah.
Just kind of make it my niche for a little bit, I guess you could say.
How long have you been training?
I think just about 3 years, maybe.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And in those 3 years, have you seen a change in jiu-jitsu? Because go back 3 years, that's like COVID's kind of letting up and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I actually started right at the end of COVID. That's when I first started.
Okay, yeah.
And then I just, from the start, learning all the fundamentals, like pressure. I remember it was always so hard, and I was thinking to myself in the beginning, there's no way I'm gonna be able to like figure all this pressure stuff out, where to put my hands. But I mean, now it's kind of clicking in a way. Can kind of implement new skills, so I guess that's the change.
In the past, let's say 3 months, what's the biggest piece of advice you got that like you could relay to like improve your jiu-jitsu?
Just roll, really. Don't be afraid. That was the biggest one. Yeah, don't be afraid to roll with people bigger than you or smaller than you, because everybody is kind of the same in a way, I guess you could say. Everybody knows. Don't be afraid to get tapped.
Don't be afraid to get tapped. You see it a lot with like the upper belts where they get scared that they're gonna lose face, or like they don't want to tap to a lower belt. And it's like I was guilty of it. I was like a brown belt, and I had no like late stage escapes because I was like, I'm never gonna let anyone get there. And I rode to this one gym. They were a really good gym, and just get decimated by guys. And they're like, how do you not know this? I'm like, I don't let people get this position. So once they get here, you're done? Like, yeah pretty much. Like, dude, you need to train late stage escapes. Like, oh, cool, all right. The problem with that is, man, you get tapped so much. Your ego gets crushed back down. But once you're like, man, I'm just gonna, like, the gym is practice, right? It's the lab work. It's not the competition. Like, I'm gonna let the guy get someone really good against me, and let me see if I can get out. And if I don't, I just tap, reset, and we just try again. Yeah. Don't ever be afraid to be tapped. That's awesome. What do you think brings you back to the gym, or to jiu-jitsu in general?
Oh man, just I think one big thing is the people. The people
Okay.
here are really nice. And I mean, I guess over the years that I've been, or the months and the years that I've been training, there's like this drive that kind of grew inside of me to just want to keep rolling. And it's a good stress reliever too. at the end of the day. Especially after work too.
Definitely a big stress reliever. What do you do for work?
I'm a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's like a lot of brain work and
A lot of computer work. Yeah. So it's nice to get physical activity after sitting at a desk for 8-9 hours a day.
I couldn't imagine. I stood a lot in my job too, and it's like I want to go move, I want to exercise, I want to sweat, some aggression I gotta take out. Do you think there's any carryover skills from mechanical engineering to jiu-jitsu? Anything you brought over that like, oh, that's definitely helped?
I think just the technical understanding of things. With engineering, there's a lot of technical things you gotta know, technical skills you gotta implement into your work. And I guess like sitting here watching like you guys teach and stuff, it kind of helps me, or my understanding from engineering helps me break some things down here, but not all the things. I mean, it's very different. But.
I think if you look at the body like any other mechanism, right? It only moves certain ways. It only can do certain things. There's your anomalies, your whatever Cirque du Soleil guys.
Yeah.
But like most people, their arm only moves one way, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
how do I move it the other way? Oh, that's a submission.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
How do I get them to stay still while I do it?
Yeah.
But yeah, with mechanical engineering, you probably understand like levers and fulcrums and like force multipliers and everything.
Yep.
There's a lot of that going on in jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
which brings a lot of nerds into jiu-jitsu.
yes.
But I think it also helps with the evolution of the sport. The more brains you got working on a problem, right? AI, whatever it is, the quicker we're going to come up with the solutions.
Yes.
What would you give someone that's starting brand new? What kind of advice would you give them for like their first month of training?
Just keep going, really. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a big factor that plays into people not coming back is really getting hurt or getting tapped. It's not like only physically getting hurt, but their egos as well. 'Cause me myself, I'm not a big guy. I'm really small, so rolling with the big guys can sometimes kill your ego.
Yeah.
Big or small, honestly. If you're not strong, if you're small, you just gotta keep going because over time you'll learn how to overcome that. Yeah.
Is that something that you knew coming into it? Like, hey, I'm a smaller guy, like I'm gonna have to just deal with this? Or did you just pick it up along the way? Did someone tell you?
It was kind of like an up and down for me. Like I knew I was gonna get smashed when I first joined, obviously, because I didn't know anything. I was so small. Come to the gym, everybody's older than me, stronger and bigger than me too. But like there's times where my ego is like really crushed. I'm like, dude, I've been training like every day this week. I'm still getting smashed. But then at the same time, I gotta think like, I just started. I don't know anything really. So I just keep coming.
How long from when you started till you got like your first like legit submission?
Maybe last year. I think for me, like the process that I went through was like just being comfortable being stuck in someone's mount, honestly.
Okay.
Because I always ended up in that position. So I kind of got comfortable with just staying there, comfortable with my breathing, staying calm, and then eventually like learning to, somebody is gonna slip up in a way and then I can just escape. Because it's hard to force someone off of me,
Yeah.
So probably last year though is my first like actual submission.
I think the small battles, the small victories, like if you can't internalize that and be like, hey, like I didn't freak out when the guy mounted me.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, you know. Like I only got submitted 5 times instead of 6. You have to set those small realistic goals and like take them home with you. Like, no, I did better today.
Yeah.
Because it's weird, especially if you're a smaller guy, you know, younger, whatever it is. You get into that gym and everyone's already been here for 6 months, a year, 3 years, 10 years. Like realistically, if it works, which we believe it works, you're not going to catch that guy right away. Like you wouldn't walk into your job and be like, oh, I'm going to be the best engineer day one. I just got out of college. Let me see what I got. Yeah, so taking those small victories really matter. And like you said, the ego or the people that they don't come back, they can't realize like, hey, you're getting better.
Yeah.
I know when I started, and it was a while ago, like no one would give you anything, and like getting submissions were crazy. But like that one new guy came in, and he was like my size.
It's perfect.
Right? And I caught him, and I was like, oh, this works. That's what that feels like.
Yeah. Yes.
But you need to be at the gym for 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, and have that new person about your size walk in. Bring your buddy in and be, hey, check this out, right?
Yeah. Kind of test your skills.
Yeah. You don't realize you're getting better because everyone in the gym is also getting better with you.
Right.
So it's like I'm getting better, but he's getting better. We kind of just
You gotta keep
Yeah.
climbing the ladder at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many days a week are you training?
So I'm kind of off and on right now, but normally when I'm in the groove of it, I'll train. Now I would train Monday through Friday.
Every day?
Since nights, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Since
Okay.
Since they open the Thursday night
Okay.
classes, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, sometimes I make family time too. So.
Got to. No, I mean, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. We're not going to make a career out of it. Family's most important.
Extracurricular. Yeah.
You just have one kid?
Yeah.
Boy, girl?
Boy.
Boy, how old?
5 years old.
Okay, oh, that's a fun age.
Yeah.
That's a really
So
fun
he
age.
actually rolls Tuesday, Thursdays over here.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'll try to get off work as early as I can, make it over here to watch him, and then I'll jump into like the Tuesday and the Thursday adult class.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. You know, I always tell parents, I started jiu-jitsu because of my son. But I always tell parents, like, if your kids get into something, just get into it. But like, jiu-jitsu is cool. There's guys who train with their kids, like, to this day. And
Yeah.
like, how many, 50-year-olds hang out with their 20-year-old sons?
Yeah.
They're like, that doesn't happen. But like, in the gym, it actually happens. Like, we ain't going to the club together,
Yeah.
we ain't going to, lift weights together. But like, jiu-jitsu, we can do together. So awesome, man. Like, your son's in there. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Like, okay, yeah, so like you're in there, your son's there. You guys are gonna grow up in the gym together, and like you'll be training techniques by the time he's 12. Like, hey, Dad, check this out.
So we grow same time, really.
Yeah.
So it works out very well.
It's so good. You'll have this like open line of communication with him, and he'll talk to stuff to you that like most kids, daddy, like, how are you so close with your son? Like, because we're over here choking each other and armbarring each other every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's good fun. Good fun.
I really tell people, like, get your kids to train if you like it. Or if your kids are training, just jump into class. Like, you don't even have to be good. Just jump in and learn the words, learn the positions. Yeah. Are you trying to convince any of the other parents to join?
I'm trying to convince my wife to start. She comes to Nogis here and there, but
Okay.
it's a process. I'm not gonna force her or
Yeah,
anything to
yeah,
do it. It's
definitely
always
not.
her choice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when she does, it's good fun. I think. Yeah.
I think my wife trains sometimes, and it's like, oh, I'll do it. She has no aspiration to be like even good. She just likes to exercise, but she sees the good side of it. So my son does judo a lot now, and she's in the classes with him, and she's like, oh, this is fun, and she's having a blast. Not even like, she's just kind of repping the stuff, like not even competing. She doesn't do any of the sparring.
Yeah.
But then now my son is talking to her, and they're bonding, and I'm like, that's what it's about.
Right,
Like,
right.
it's not about the jiu-jitsu, it's about like the people stuff.
Right. You just create a different type of bond
Yeah.
when rolling. I feel like. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. All right. Is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Oh man, off the top of my head. I guess how was your journey to black belt? Or how long have you been training, and maybe how was it for you?
I started in 2009. I told you my son was training. We were taking him to classes, and one of the instructors was like, hey, you want to try? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I ended up loving it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. The first year I was just like, I would just go when I took him, and then my second year in, I just kind of caught the bug and just started training, and I want to do this. So I started training really hard, full time. I mean, I was like every day, two times a day, got real serious. And then like, I was a grown up, I had responsibilities, so I just kind of went to this side. I travel a lot for work. So in 2014-ish, I was just kind of like, focused on my career and everything. So I was a purple belt at the time. I just stayed at purple belt for like ever.
Right.
So I stayed at purple belt for a really long time. I lived overseas for 5 years.
Oh.
I lived in Asia for 5 years. And then eventually I got my brown belt, and then COVID hit. I want to say less than a year after I got my brown belt, COVID hit. So I was a brown belt through COVID, and when everything started opening up again, I had been training. It was a crazy story, but we were living in Hong Kong. I don't know if you remember what was going on back then,
Right.
but they locked that territory, country, whatever, they locked it down. You couldn't get in or out. If you did, it was like 3 weeks in a hotel, like just chaos. So we're like, well, we can't live here anymore. Wow. This is just a little too much. So we left, and we didn't have anywhere to go. We were like, what do we do?
Right.
So we went to go visit some friends. We're just traveling around, and we ended up at one of my buddy's houses, and I was like, hey, let's just buy a car and just go on a road trip. We road tripped for like months.
Wow.
Months and months and months. We ended up training with one of the best teams in the world at the time in Puerto Rico.
Oh, cool.
And then I just like got re-bit by like I want to be good at jiu-jitsu again. So I trained with them for almost a year.
Nice.
And then at the end of it, like we settled back down, and I was like, oh, my buddy said, you should be a black belt. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should be a black belt.
Yeah.
That's like I'm a black belt.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
Long, fun journey.
Yeah.
And like I said, jiu-jitsu, it was never, there were times where it was the most important thing, but a lot of times it was just like, it was a back burner. It was, man, I got family, I got my job, I got this, I got that. But I always came back and I always stayed with it. So, tell guys, man, it's a marathon.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. It's good fun though.
Well, appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.